This is the Fantasy Alarm NBA DFS show with Jon Impemba and James Grande.
What's going on, everybody? Jon Impemba here with James Grande. Welcome to the Fantasy Alarm NBA DFS Playbook Preview Show. We are talking about Tuesday's 10-game main slate. James, 8-game main slate. 8 games, not 10. 8. We're used to having big 10 games this week, but we're not going to have any of those today on Tuesday. 8-game main slate. How are we doing?
In-season tournament day too, so should be some fun competitive basketball. I think it's the last, this is the last game for all these teams for the in-season tournament. So there's seeding. There's seeding
next
involved.
Week's season tournament, all 2-game slates. So
yeah, so seeding is involved here. Who's the 1 seed and 2 seeds going in out of their groups and whatnot. So it should be a fun night of basketball. Some lopsided looking matchups. Some interesting teams with potential injuries circulating. I know the Heat had a very long injury list. The LaMelo Ball news that he didn't fracture his ankle was, I guess, something.
Did that guy have the worst luck with ankles here, or what? Multiple seasons now derailed due to random ankle injuries.
Isn't this Steph Curry? This is like Steph Curry reincarnated. Right. Steph or LaMelo walked so Steph could run, or whatever the saying.
Whatever the saying is.
Whatever that saying is, but
Speaking of Steph, late night hammer kicking off at 10 p.m., an hour and a half after the next game out, which seems to be a trend. On these recent NBA slates here, 239 game total that opened at 237.5 with just a 3-point spread. Sacramento's at home giving 3 here. Sacramento has not looked good in their last couple of games. Neither really has Golden State, for that matter. So we got quite a banger to end the night. 239 total and only going up. It's going to be pretty interesting. I think you can correct me if I'm wrong. Draymond's back for this game or no?
Yes, I believe that he is.
So in terms of, stackability and game totals and all that stuff, I mean, you can't feel pretty comfortable if you don't have some exposure here to this slate, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, Draymond is not listed out, so he should be back. I mean, that game is going to be super appealing. It was an incredibly fun series last year in the postseason. They've already played. Have they played twice already this year? I want to say they've already played twice, and
let's see,
they've blown them out.
So 10-27 was an 8-point game that Golden State won in Sacramento. In that game, De'Aaron Fox had 39 actual.
That's pretty good.
So pretty good game there for De'Aaron Fox in that one. Let's see, did they play them twice or just once?
Yeah, they did.
The other one was a 1-point win. So no, it's been pretty close. 8-point game and a 1-point game, but both games won by Golden State. Fox was not in that second game.
Okay.
So just some thoughts there. Sabonis in those games. Sabonis had 23, 11, and 8, and he had 19, 18, and 7 in those 2 games. So 49 and 59 fantasy points for Sabonis there. So again, late night hammer, 10:30, 10 o'clock start rather. 8:30 is the next latest game, so a while to go. As we kind of build out our lineups here. I also think it's kind of interesting. You and I talk a lot about this. Now, OKC's on the road. They're not home. But OKC is also getting 4 points in this one. We generally consider Thunder to be a pretty good team. Minnesota at home giving 4 here. Started at 3.5. Now it's up to 4. So money was rolling in on Minnesota. The Jalen Williams news, I guess, is something to watch for. Is he already ruled out for this game? Do we know?
He practiced and he's off the injury report.
Okay. Then I mean, if they're going in there full strength, I mean, you and I are kind of OKC stands here. I might take the 4 points on that one.
Yeah, I mean, these are the top 2 teams in the Western Conference right now. Minnesota 1, OKC 2. Obviously, we don't know. There's always the potential that Josh Giddey could be removed from the action facing recent.
They did let him play, but I don't know, right?
And nobody knows what's Nobody knows, but
he did supposedly lose a sponsorship over in Australia.
I did see that. And again, nobody knows. We're just speculating.
I have to assume, in my own opinion, that the team is not letting him play if they haven't done their own due diligence at this point.
Agreed.
So again, the league will play itself out. But if there was like any hint, because they had to have gone to Josh and like, Josh, like, what's the deal here? You know, like, you know, he's not going to lie to them, I don't think, you know. So I don't know. You never know. So who knows? But he did play, so I got to assume he's fine there.
Sure.
The Draymond news is big because that's going to change Golden State starting lineup again, right? Chris Paul probably goes back to the bench, where we've seen him kind of thrive, and that means you see Steph Curry priced at $9,500, but maybe a little bit more assist equity with Paul off the bench than he was in the starting lineup. So definitely some stories to talk about. We'll hit the injuries, and if you are haven't yet already liked today's show, please give us that like button. Click helps us out a lot. Leave a comment in the comment section. Let us know your favorite play of the day, favorite matchup, favorite value play, what you're looking forward to with this 8-game main slate. I'll throw that down in the comment section for us here. Let's get into it. Let's break it down with this 8-game main slate. We went over some of the high totals, some of the matchups here. A lot of top end plays on this slate, right? Luka, Giannis, SGA, Tatum, Sabonis, all up over $10,000 here. Looking at this matchup, do you find yourself, looking at Luka in a tough spot against Houston, SGA, Minnesota, tough spot, 10-5? I know he's been really good. I mean, how do you find yourself approaching this top end of the point guard position?
I don't.
Yeah.
And you know that we are SGA fans 1 and 2, I'd say, right? And we love Luka. Yeah, but like I'm not attacking Houston. And I feel like I've been very like firm on that front, other than that one random game that we all pivoted the whole field when the Lakers ruled out Anthony Davis and they lost by 20. And we learned our lesson that night. And so
far, the only guy we can confidently play against Houston is Nikola Jokic.
Yeah, I mean, right.
Because regardless of score, he goes for 85. So.
Right. So, like, yes, fair point. I'm just not. It's a massive pace down spot, and Houston is tied for the best defense in basketball. It's Houston, it's Minnesota, it's Orlando, it's Boston. Those are the top 4 defensive units. So, no. And same ditto for SGA. He gets Minnesota. And like maybe more prone to get to him if Jalen Williams is out because he averaged 1.8 fantasy points per minute without him.
Mm-hmm.
But Williams is back. I think I'm starting my builds De'Aaron Fox. But dude, Trae Young is freaking on one of late. And I know like not like great upside at the 50 fantasy points that he had against Boston. But also, like, more often than not, he's double-doubling. So maybe we get, like, more.
237 game total in this one as well. Like, second highest on the slate. Cleveland is a 5-point favorite in this game as well. And you know how bad Atlanta is defensively here. But I'm kind of in agreement with you. I do think that Trae, the way he has been playing right now, I mean, it's very difficult to kind of slow him down when he's doing this. And like I mentioned, now the free throws have come down a little bit, but he was attacking the rim pretty consistently earlier on in this season. So if he gets back to that, I mean, the sky's the limit for his ceiling.
Yeah, and, the free throws are down, you mentioned, but 5, 8, 5, 6 made threes over the last 4 games. Like, the threes are falling, and now he's like, oh, right, I can shoot from 30 feet, and I don't need to worry about going to the rim. So I'm okay if I end Fox or Trae.
A big pace down for Atlanta. I feel like we'll probably find ourselves looking more at some of the Cleveland guys in this game.
Yep.
But again, if it is a close competitive game, I mean, 5 points. If this is a 5-point Cleveland win, then we're looking at a competitive game where all these guys are on the floor the entire night in a 237 plus game total. So, I won't sit there and argue too much with you at all. Again, I think Steph certainly becomes a little bit more in play with Draymond back. Doubled 6 assists the last 2 games was nice to see. Gave me the 50 fantasy points. I know we've kind of gone back and forth, on where the value lies with Curry at this price point. But, one of the lower tags, we've seen him all year long, late night hammer, close game, big spread. I could find myself getting to some Curry here.
Yeah, I think just moving forward, if you want to play Curry in a tournament, if he's under 10K, that's fine.
Okay. Mid-tier range. Where are you looking? Do you have any interest in Dame versus Miami? Do you have Brunson against Charlotte at $8,200? Rozier, no LaMelo, likely at 74. I mean, what are we looking at here?
So I think it's Van Vliet for me would be like the first guy I'd get to. He's probable. John, the minutes have been pretty light lately for Van Vliet. Only 39 over the last 2 games. I mean, is he okay? You think there's an issue?
I mean, the assists have been great.
I mean, he has played 39 plus minutes in 7 straight games. And if the shot is falling, he's gonna nuke the slate. And Dallas is bad defensively. They're 25th, and they're also playing pretty fast. They're 8th in pace, and Houston's 28th. So massive pace up spot, check, and very good defensive matchup, check. So I love Van Vliet. Also love Brunson, 8,200. Brunson's coming off a ceiling game as well, where he went for 35 actual, 8 assists, 6 rebounds, and against Phoenix. Only got $100 price bump, and Charlotte still stinks defensively. So Brunson, Van Vliet, both elite plays. I know I probably should like Rozier a lot, and he came back and he played, 37 minutes.
This is like what he does, and now there's no LaMelo. Like 20 shots are well within range for Terry Rozier here.
What do you think? And for Rozier to do that against Orlando, who has been an amazing. I mean, again, they were tied for the number 1 defense in basketball going into that game. Now they're 3rd. The Knicks are good defensively, but they're not as good as Orlando. So,
I mean, like I said, he was taking 20 shots a night with LaMelo Ball on the floor. So,
really good play.
I think 7,400 gives you some good. Now, you're not wrong, right? Like you look at the Knicks here, in terms of pace, they're 17th in pace, so it's a little bit of a pace down spot. Not a huge pace down spot. Charlotte's 15th, but I generally like going at Brunson. Like he's not a big guard, so I'm fine there. I mean, I feel like the big game is coming here for Garland at some point.
Yes, and this feels like the spot at $7,200. So, So Atlanta has been super dreadfully terrible defensively. So I'm perfectly fine getting to this spot. They're 24th overall. The price is really if Mitchell continues to struggle over the last few games, Mitchell's been pretty bad.
Yeah.
Garland could have a ceiling here. I know we saw the ceiling without Mitchell, but he could have a ceiling with Mitchell. I really like that spot.
And go back to the pace comment. I had the wrong tab there. New York is 29th in pace, so it is a huge drop down in pace for Charlotte in that one. But conversely, Cleveland's 23rd in pace, while Atlanta is sitting at 11. So a big pace up spot here for Cleveland. And again, like, dude, 78, 79, 76, 77. Like, this is the cheapest he's been in almost a month.
Yep.
And a huge spot here. So, I know he hasn't been great at times, but I feel like he doesn't need to do much in a game to pay off that tag. So I do like Garland a lot at the $7,200 price tag in the mid-tier. I'll definitely have some Garland in lineups here on Tuesday. Under 7K, anybody in the 6K below range for you?
I mean, I don't love the Derek White price, but he was so damn good playing point guard for Boston the other day. If there's no Drew Holiday, like, I'd consider it. I probably don't get there, but I like the position.
So we talked about this 13.5 spread.
Yeah, that's also the issue.
So maybe you get to some fast PP who they've preemptively priced up to $4,700 here. Now he's 49 the other day, 45. Has not really paid it off. He had that one game against Charlotte, went for 39. But if you're thinking blowout, he played 20 minutes, probably plays a little bit more if that ends up being the case here. But as they've talked about, point differential and points scored matters in the in-season tournament. So they could just leave the starters on the floor in this one.
Yeah, they could. And it wouldn't surprise me because Missoula loves playing his guys anyway. So I don't hate the Derek White thing. I'm probably not going to chase the Mike Conley game. Mike Conley coming off literally this ceiling that you're going to get 18, 10, and 4, 43 fantasy points. He was in every winning lineup. It's a good spot. I'm just 5,600 priced out for me. Quickly coming off a ceiling game. He closed that game against Phoenix too, which is great to see. He's now played 26 minutes in basically like 7 of 9 games overall. So I really
this should be him. He should always be playing this kind of minutes. Like, I don't get the reasoning for him when he is ever playing fewer.
Agreed.
Truthfully here.
Well, and look, and the game he plays 17 against Minnesota, they get torched. Like, dude, you're giving them all this time and they're winning. They've won 5 of the other 6 games that he's played big run. Like, give him time.
Yep, agreed. Anybody else down here at point guard?
I mean, depending on like what the Heat injury situation is, Jimmy Butler's questionable. If Jimmy doesn't start, I assume they just keep playing Josh Richardson in the starting lineup. He's played 37 and 34 minutes the last 2 games. You know, guards have had
Not
success.
terrible.
Yeah, guards have had the success there. I don't know. What is Charlotte? Charlotte's not going to play Maladon. They're just going to play like their 5 guys. I bet McGowan's, I think. No, he didn't even play last game.
So they played Ish Smith.
Sure.
So I mean, if Ish is the backup point guard to Rozier, would you give him any looks at $3,700?
Yes.
I mean, we know what Ish Smith can be. I mean, look at these minutes and the assist numbers have been there. A couple of rebounds. He's generally a better scorer than this.
I mean, Ish is just definitely going to be capped regardless because unless there's another injury, because you're going to assume Rozier, Miller, Bridges, Hayward, Williams, Washington. Like those 6 guys probably play all the minutes, right? Like they're just and then Ish needs to be productive in 17 to 20 minutes. It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, I'm with you there. If Banton starts again?
No. I mean, I get it because like in theory he'll be on the floor probably in blowout too. This is what I wish Peyton Pritchard's price was.
I agree.
But it's not.
I mean, they started Delano Banton for crying out loud.
I know. Like, I get it. If
he starts and he's $3,500, I think people get to him.
Especially in a game with a 13-point spread.
Yeah.
I can see a case for him.
All right, shooting guard here then. Donnie Mitch is 92, as you mentioned. He's been struggling a little bit, but I mean, this is too good of a price tag, I think, to pass up given the matchup for me.
Oh well, if you said it, I'm not playing him.
It's true.
If you guys want to know who the number 1 Donovan Mitchell jinx with a bullet, like it's not even close. It's John. John is the Donovan Mitchell.
I absolutely never get this man right, but you know what? It's a good spot. So
top 15 player in the NBA, just never get him right.
Literally never gets him right. Anthony Edwards here at $8,900. Good price tag for him against OKC.
Yep.
DeJounte on the opposite side at 84. Always willing to play DeJounte whenever he plays Trey. Let's see. Talk to Rozier. Any Dinwiddie love at all?
Yes. Actually, he's been super good. Now Cam Johnson left that last game. Is probable for this game, but Claxton is once again questionable. They already listed Cam Thomas as doubtful, so the fact that he's being listed as doubtful suggests he's going to be back really soon. Dennis Smith Jr. is also questionable. He's missed the last few games, which has led Dinwiddie just playing monster minutes. I would say as long as Dennis Smith Jr. is out, he's going to play. Look at this, 30, 38, 36, 42 minutes the last 3 games. So if DSJ's out, Dinwiddie's been going nuclear, and I fully expect him to play another 38 minutes. It's decent spot. Nothing to write home about, but yeah, I can definitely get to some Dinwiddie.
Another ceiling Max Drew scam.
Dude, it's crazy. It's crazy. Dude.
We said on opening night, like, he can't do this again. He's done it like 5 other times.
11 rebounds, full strength full strength team, 20, 11, and 5. Full strength squad. Crazy.
I mean, again, look at the pace this game's gonna be played at. The total this game's gonna be played at $6,600. Like, this is a pretty fun matchup. It feels like. How do you get 11 boards with Jarrett Allen and Evan Mobley in the game? Like,
dude, it's like what? And he just plays all the minutes.
Yeah,
he plays all the minutes.
It's crazy. Would you play Jalen Green 64?
He's pretty good spot coming off like 2 monster
back 40 fantasy games. That's what I'm saying. And Dallas, you mentioned it, right? Dallas is paying
really good spot.
Enough pace. The third highest pace team in the league for Dallas. A big pace up spot here. Houston's 20th in pace. So
I think it's even Houston's 28th in pace. Yeah.
Well, I'm looking at the Hollis stats. I don't know what you're looking at.
NBA.com. A little discrepancy there.
Okay, yeah, on ESPN. I'm looking at ESPN. They got him at 20.
Okay. Well, either way.
I'll look at what you're looking for the sake of continuity, though, for this show.
Okay. So yeah, so NBA.com has Houston 28th and Dallas 8th.
Okay. Yeah, ESPN's got Dallas 3rd and Houston 20th. So
I mean, I like 3rd better.
I like 3rd better, yeah.
I like the 3rd. But either way, it's like a really big pace up spot, and Dallas is 25th in defense too. So like check and check. Just know when you play Jalen Green, there is a floor. There's a floor. But like he had been really consistent to start the year, and now we've gotten a couple ceiling games out of him. I think Houston, just getting it out of the way now, I think Houston is my favorite team going into the slate. Cleveland's probably really close behind second. Knicks are probably up there too. I guess we'll get to more Knicks in a little bit. But man, this Houston team, and we haven't gotten to our favorite Houston play of the slate on the team yet. You know,
that is true. All right, more mid-tier plays down here. I mean, Clay has been firing. Yep. You know, if Duncan Robinson is healthy, I mean, maybe there's a spot there for him. The way he was shooting the basketball. There's no Jalen Johnson. Does Bogdan start, or does
they started Sadiq? They probably Sadiq. They started Sadiq last game. I would venture to say Sadiq, but it didn't. I mean, it didn't matter as he's 32 minutes for Bogdan, right? So
I mean, he's been on fire too. $5,700, a good price tag for him here. So really strong, like 6.5K tier. OG had a ceiling game a couple days ago, 26 and 6 against Chicago. There, you know, nobody's going to play Toronto. I don't think.
No one's going to play Toronto. And I could definitely be sold on some OG. I also will throw Brendan Miller into that mix. I know, like, he's been up and down, but there's been a lot of up for Brendan Miller lately. 3 of the last 4 games, 29 plus fantasy points. The minutes are pretty secure, and I assume that just remains with LaMelo off the floor. Like, Brendan Miller probably starts, and even if he doesn't, it's 30 minutes. So however they go about their starting lineup, like Brandon Miller, or however they go about their lineup, Brandon Miller's going to play 30 minutes. So I would just throw Miller into that mix as well with the other guys you mentioned.
30 minutes on Caleb Martin, 9 of 18 shooting. Gotta love that.
Yeah, I mean, definitely better than the 18 minutes we saw that game before because, you know.
You and I played him that day, I think. So
we sure did. That was the Friday Listener League there, John.
Yeah. Well, let's remember that one because after a good run of the Friday Listener League, I had a few cashes in there. I think I came in dead last. So.
We switched bots because I had finished last the first 3 weeks, and I finally had a Listener League cash. So we should, we'll talk about maybe a next Listener League. I'll buy someone some merch if we get like up to a certain amount of people. You know, maybe we'll split some merch for
I got a lot of cash to throw around now that Paul George just went over his rebound prop. So
true.
We're out here having a party.
Maybe we'll split some merch, John, for the winner. If we get
you want a fantasy alarm hat? I mean, like, you know,
yeah, 20. If we get like 25 people in there, maybe the winner.
We can make it happen.
Okay, yeah, we could throw something together. But anyways, if Butler is out, I think that's my Martin contingency.
Okay. Anybody else down here at shooting guard for you?
I mean, Isaiah Joe in competitive games, again, 26, 27 minutes. He was obviously not going to shoot 50% from three every slate, but $4,400 Isaiah Joe, he's fine. What did Gary Trent? Gary Trent, another guy, like he's playing mid-20s minutes, has a shooting ceiling if you wanted to go there. I assume Moody moves back to the bench here. They had that random Moody start.
Yeah, I know, right? That's
That's
probably
it.
it.
Yeah, that's it.
All right, small forward position again. Jason Tatum's 10-3 in the game. We're their 13-point favorites. Scotty Barnes at $8,600. We've been playing more Siakam lately, but Barnes obviously still gave you 50 fantasy points against the Pacers the other day. So, can still be that guy. You've been touting a lot of Mikal Bridges. Monster night, pretty good night. Fell off a little bit against Chicago there.
Yeah.
Still a ton of minutes. Shooting's been pretty good. I don't know if you feel like you're willing to run that one back here. Garrett Gordon Hayward in the mid tier. Like, what are we looking at for the small forward spot?
I mean, Bridges, like no Claxton, Cam J's back, no Cam Thomas. Like, there's a ceiling if you want to play him. Butler's interesting, given this is the in-season tournament. We know Miami's 8,300 though. It's hard to get Jimmy. Dude, I guess Bridges is just going to be what he's going to be, right? I mean, again, like 37 minutes, Orlando.
Dude, three double-doubles.
Yeah. So if this is what it's going to be, he was super cheap on FanDuel the other day. He was like $7,100. $8,000 still feels pretty.
And like, there's got to be shots for him, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
there's it's like the Rozier thing you were saying. Rozier was taking 20 shots of LaMelo. Bridges has taken
the facilitator in this offense now.
I mean, I assume Hayward
is only had 2 assists in that game. How many assists did Rozier have?
He had 9. I think he had 9. Yeah.
So still getting true point guard Rozier there. I mean, yes, obviously both Bridges and I think Hayward are going to be fine.
Yep, agreed.
In those spots. The Hunter 6K we talked about.
Dude,
I've been a big DeAndre Hunter guy.
You have been for a long time, and I felt like I was on crazy pills the last 2 nights, the last 2 Atlanta slates, because nobody was playing DeAndre Hunter, and he was
coming off. Sadiq Bey's been $1,100 cheaper than him the whole time. So like
until the last slate where Sadiq Bey was more money, and I was like, well, DeAndre Hunter's coming off back-to-back 20 actual point games, and in that Washington game, he was smashing, and they just blew Washington off the door. Like, it would have been another 35 fantasy points for this guy. So
everybody forgets DeAndre Hunter was the 4th overall pick in that draft.
Yep.
He just got hurt. He definitely kept on getting hurt. But in a draft that started Zion, Ja, RJ Barrett, included Darius Garland, DeAndre Hunter was 4. Yep. Right? Like, that's a loaded top 5 picks there. And Hunter's shown a bunch of flashes. He just gets hurt. They traded for DeJounte Murray. Like, they have Trae Young. But he's definitely a good player.
So good. Yep.
Is he 6K good? Is he 6K good against Cleveland?
I mean, dude, 7X, 10X, and 5X in the last 3 slates, right? Against I'm not saying you're probably right. I think it is worth a look, though. I'll say that. I think it's worth a look.
Where are we with RJ?
He's very cheap. He is very, very cheap.
I mean, before the hurt, right? He was kind of smoking for a bit.
The migraines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the minutes are nice.
We know he can score.
Great spot.
Yeah, we know he can score.
Probably again a spot where nobody's playing him.
Yeah, I could get there. It's a good spot.
Let's see, more mid-tier ranges. Jaquez here.
Dude, talk about a kid that he gets
$5,400. You want to talk about someone that's giving you a mispriced value here? These are all 6X returns.
Yep.
So 4 straight 6X returns, and they're not moving his price tag at all, really. I mean,
and he actually started for Jimmy last game. So
in Milwaukee, not a great defensive team here. So I like Jaquez a lot.
Well, as long as they don't go near the rim, because if he goes near the rim, Brooklyn.
Yeah, I mean, they'll get sent back, I guess.
Send in send his block.
What's Dylan Brooks' status here? Probable. That's too bad. Kind of wish I knew he was going to play.
Yep.
Not going to chase Hauser. I mean, hey, 32 minutes, 22 fantasy points.
It's the bench. It's, you know what, Missoula. That's why Banton started, because
they just keep Hauser in the bench rhythm.
Yeah, because it's like he just plays well off the bench, right? What did the 2 starts look like? They were horrible.
Nothing. He's not making shots. Yeah. I don't have anything else down here though. Do you?
Do we? I didn't even look at Caruso.
I just don't like the match against Boston for him.
Well, no, he's questionable. I was gonna do the Pat Williams thing. Pat Williams had a spot start and 20 actual, yeah. And like the blocks and steals are pretty consistent. Like he averages almost 2 blocks and steals combined per game. So we didn't get any that game. If Pat Williams started in a game where there was a blowout, he would get blowout run too. He would just be on the floor. So I would probably give Pat Williams a look.
All right, Eason is probable, but not really playing a lot of minutes there. All right, power forward. Giannis is 11-4 against Miami. We know what he's certainly capable of doing. Randall against Charlotte, kind of appealing, I think. Yes. 87. Towns against OKC should be a pretty fun matchup to watch in that one there if he's dealing with Chet or Jalen Williams in that matchup. Siakam's 82. Kind of like the 8,200 for Siakam here.
Same. I think that we have pinpoint a price point that we're comfortable with when it comes to Siakam. Like when he was 10K, you were just every slate you were like, why is this?
Absolutely not. Yeah.
Why is this thing? 8K, it's like, okay, this guy has a pretty big ceiling considering he's doing what Scotty Barnes was doing earlier in the year. So, yeah, plays big minutes. He takes a lot of shots and he stuffs the stat sheet. So no problem getting Siakam here.
Yeah, perfectly fine with that as well here. Other power forwards then. Mobley is 76. Gonna have a pretty big size advantage in that front court against Atlanta here. Maybe it's a spot where do they play a Gonku at the 4 at all? You think? No.
I don't. No.
Okay. I mean, there were times that we saw them play Capella and Gonku together.
I guess they
I guess it's probably not a long stint thing, but I'm just thinking size. I mean, that's just a big matchup for them.
It's true. No, it's a fair question, John, for sure.
Draymond in return at 62. Al Horford has a dual eligibility playing over 30 minutes at 6K. J.R. Smith 59. Or not J.R. Smith. Jabari Smith at 5,900. Where are we? What are you thinking here?
I'm thinking I would not play J.R. Smith at 6K for sure.
J.R. Smith's playing golf right now, I
think. True. Also, Cam Johnson in that mix. I know he left last game, but he did have 25 fantasy points in 22 minutes because he's been nothing short of a fantasy point per minute monster.
The double-digit rebounds randomly out of there too.
Dude, well, he's just a fantasy point per minute monster who can't freaking stay healthy, and it's very frustrating, especially for someone who has 60% of them on best ball. Yeah, I mean, Cam Johnson, I think, is fine. The Keegan Murray news, by the way, he is doubtful. So that he's in this tier. I just thought I'd bring that up. I know we're going to see Duarte start. They gave Kessler Edwards a bunch of run, and then they did not give Trey Lyles as much run as we thought, but he made a bunch of shots. So, like, he still smashed at that price. Just thought I'd bring up the Keegan Murray thing. Cam J, I don't love the Horford price at 6K, but I understand it if, I understand it. It's a good spot if Chicago can keep that game close. Jabari, Jabari's kind of balling, huh? That's why Tari Eason's not playing, because Jabari is.
I mean, we wanted this to happen for a bit, and then when we play him, he cools off. But this is a spot where we want it, right? A big pace up spot.
Big pace up spot. 30. I think so this is a good thing to see. The 38 minutes, that was the in-season tournament game against Denver. Mm-hmm. He played 38 minutes.
Right.
I think I'm not saying I would max 3 Houston probably tomorrow. Like I'm not
with Grant Williams. I mean, that's not a tough matchup for him. So
yeah, I mean, massive size advantage.
Is Lively in or out? Do we know?
I think he's out. I think they already ruled him out.
Questionable.
Okay.
Yeah. Did practice Monday, so there's probably a good chance he plays.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm good.
I like him. I like the matchup against Dallas here.
Same.
Bay at 56 is sitting right here as well.
Yep.
In a pretty good spot. Sarge had a 20 actual point game. I mean, these 3 games are wild. Obviously, Draymond coming back, but
do you just give Sarge all the Looney minutes and just play Draymond? Like,
do you play give him all the Kaminga minutes?
Yeah, you just keep Sarge in his role, and now Draymond just soaks up like everyone else. I mean, they need Sarge to score like this because like.
Agreed. No arguments. Other guys down here in the value range. Nas is 43.
Where does the Royce O'Neal? Did we skip Royce O'Neal?
Yeah, he's right here, 55.
Okay. I know like ceiling, but if there's no Claxton, he played a lot of the 5. So they did that small.
They gave him and Dorian or DFS a lot of minutes.
Yeah, I would probably. I mean, we know they're both low floor players, but they both played big minutes. So if there's no Claxton, I would probably go back to low with him.
Center spot here has the bonus at 10-1. Bam is probable to play at $9,200. Şengün, who you've alluded to throughout the show.
Yes.
Coming off a monster, 21-15-8 game, going to play all the minutes, and has a rookie and Lively to go up against. So,
dude, thank the freaking Lord that Ime Udoka came into Alperen Şengün's life.
I'm excited to see what his PRA is going to be set at because it's been at like 30 and 35 the last couple, and I'm just like, over. This is way over. What are we doing?
When do you guys learn? I mean, like, I get like the price is not something that we're comfortable with, but like, does it matter if he's going for 56 and 58? Right. They run their offense through this man who is playing 40 minutes in competitive games. If he's staying out of foul trouble and he's playing 40 minutes.
43 minutes in a non-competitive game because it was a tournament. So
yeah, right. It's true.
Ime is going for that.
Hey, dude, he has a young team that's like very good and competitive, right? Yeah. So, what's the spread in this? 232.5, Dallas 5.5 point home favorites. Interesting.
Dallas is a favorite too, huh?
Yeah, Dallas has been. Dallas has been good this year, so I get it, but it is interesting.
Houston's been. I'm just surprised it's probably 5.5, given how good Houston's been, right?
Houston's wins have mostly come at home, so this is another test for them. Because like again, they torched Denver at home, but then they lost at Golden State, at the Lakers, at the Clippers after that win streak.
That's true. Houston is 0-5 on the road. They are 3-2 against the spread on the road this year. Where Dallas is 2-4 against the spread at home. So
like I'm not at all like scared of that for Houston because if anything, we know
the minutes, dude.
The minutes. It's a pace-up spot. It's the minutes, and that's why I'm saying like I would legitimately think max 3 if I really like a lineup around like Şengün, Jabari, Green or something, or Van Vliet, Green, Jabari, like, but Şengün is the top dog here. I mean, he is what he is right now.
If you had to pick an early favorite for a rookie of the year, is it Wemby or is it Chet Holmgren? I mean, obviously Wemby's got all the hype, but like
Chet.
Chet has been ridiculously consistent.
So like it's Chet, and I saw somebody like talk about it that it's kind of unfair that it's Chet because he had a year of like
in the league
sitting. Yeah, like he sat on the sidelines and got to like basically watch.
Yeah, live the NBA life. Yeah.
Yeah, and then so it's Chet, but we'll see. I mean,
this will be a fun matchup. Two big guys that he's gonna have to deal with here.
Yeah, I'm definitely interested in Chet. He and Towns both foul happy, so if he, ends up matching up with Towns, I think both might just commit fouls at the same exact time.
Right, agreed. $7,800 for him there. Where are you looking next?
Mark Williams tournaments. Gobert tournaments.
Yeah, with the Williams one, it's hard for me because of how good the Knicks are defensively against centers.
Yep. How about Jarrett Allen? That's where I'm going next.
Yeah, Jarrett Allen's good for sure.
He's been really good.
I mean, we got the minutes here, right? 37 minutes against LA was great to see. 35 against Philly, great to see. So we know, that they're willing to give him some of that run. I guess my question here is
back to backs were the second legs,
right?
If you see this, like
where they limited them down there. So do they play? I guess it's the front end of the back to backs. So it wouldn't even matter if they did play on Wednesday. So yeah,
is he playing Wednesday? Cleveland plays Wednesday.
I don't know, but I'm just saying this would be the front leg, and it's the in-season tournament game. So
true. We'll get ceiling minutes here.
This is a great spot, I think, for him.
Agreed.
Pirtle coming off of a pretty big game. You think if there's going to be no Claxton here?
Dude, Pirtle's been really starting to pick it up lately, especially with the minutes. He had been not playing, and now 31 and 35 minutes for what? And like Precious is healthy and Boucher is healthy, and they're giving Pirtle minutes. So yeah, I'm not going to venture into like cash games with Pirtle, but tournaments for sure.
Yep, agreed. Value plays at center.
I mean, you love to see the minutes from Onyeka, but
25, 27 is nothing to wipe your nose at.
Yeah, it's great. Great.
Tough matchup.
It's just a tough matchup. You want to talk about minutes? How about the Day'Ron Sharp minutes last game? And now, like, we all know, like, this is the most unreliable thing in the world, but if you played 27 minutes in a game, Nick Claxton did start, right? So it has to be said that it's in play, especially if Toronto is running a traditional center like Jakob Poeltl 30 minutes a game.
Gonna be sucked in by the Day'Ron Sharp again?
Yeah, I mean
probably, yeah.
Probably. Trey Lyles 4,400. I still don't know why he's center only. Kind of saw it coming. Not that I thought he was a bad play at 3,300, but like if Duarte doesn't get in foul trouble in that first game, does Trey Lyles play the 28 minutes? Probably not. Right. So
what do we make of Jalen Williams playing 26 against Philadelphia?
They started him in the second half along with Chet when Jalen Williams
Jalen Williams is fine, you said.
And other Jalen Williams is playing.
Because I'm just looking at a Gobert Town starting lineup and wondering if they need bodies for that. So
I would think that they don't change their starting lineup for that because I don't know who would move to the bench. Would you move Giddey to the bench?
Giddey or Dort?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think they would. But I mean, in theory, even if one of them did start, you could be right where they just play big regardless of who starts or not. So
maybe they have 2 7-footers out there, right?
Yeah, they do. They sure do. Get to your boy.
Yeah, we got to at least talk about. I don't even know how to pronounce the name correctly. Neemias Queta.
I think it's Queta. If I was listening to the broadcast correctly when they were in that Atlanta game, I think it's Neemias Queta, but.
Okay. So this guy was a monster in the G League last year. Had a really good summer league preseason for Boston. They signed him. Then he got hurt. And the expectation was him to be sort of that bench big for them after like Horford and Porzingis. Now Porzingis is out. Horford started. Queta played 15 minutes. Cornette only played 9. And in the 15 minutes that he played, as you can see, 7 points, 10 boards. He had 5 offensive rebounds in 9 minutes in his first run out there. This is a total tournament dart throw play at $3,100, but this is a 13.5 point spread. I know this is a tournament game, so they might just play the starters anyways, but I also don't envision them wanting to give Al Horford 40 minutes in a game. So again, they signed this guy to a 2-way deal with the expectation that he could be that depth big for them. So if you're making 20 lineups, and you needed a pure dart throw punt play, I think there's some potential here. I don't know. What do you think, James?
Nemis Kieda. I was listening to a person enunciate while you were
talking about him.
Talking. Yeah. I mean, I don't hate the idea of it.
We play a lot of like backup centers that only have like a 20-minute cap.
I know, right?
So like this fits the bill of like a high output. He was the 2023 All G League team. So like basically your All NBA first team. He was that for the G League, and he was first team All Defense last year for the G League. So like again, really strong player at the G League last year. Get signed to a two-way deal here by Boston. Has some NBA experience with Sacramento for 2 years. Being the blowout big off their bench, but again, he got on the floor and impressed during the preseason. Impressed here in that limited stint against Atlanta. Not though I am a Celtics fan, this isn't a homer play. We like guys that are that just active and can be that disruptive, and when they're on the floor, and he sort of fits that bill. Now the floor for him is like 0 fantasy points, right? But if he's gonna get on the floor, and he played more than Luke Cornett, who'd been the backup big all season long until Quita got signed, activated basically. I think there's potential for him to see 15, 18 minutes here. That's
seemingly the issue with getting to him, is that what if Cornett just like re-enters as the backup big? I know like we were talking about it before, like they've been wanting him to be the backup big. They were just waiting for him to get healthy. I'm just saying Cornett was also like like crazy good 2 games ago, and then they were just like, nah, you're good.
So Quita entered in the start of the second. So Cornett was the first big off the bench, and then he did not start the second quarter. Quita started the second quarter there and played 8 minutes to open the second quarter. And then Cornett didn't play again until middle of the third. He played a 3-minute stint and then was subbed out for Quita, who went on to play the next 8 minutes. He ended the third and started the fourth. So basically, played the first half of the second, and then ended the third, started the fourth for 8 minutes in a stretch there. So again, he played more than Cornett. He was obviously more effective than Cornett, which maybe also led to Missoula giving him some of that playing time there. So again, I'm just kind of throwing it out there. He's going to be matched up against Drummond, right? Like they might need that body. Because he's a big dude. Like Cornett is not the same size. So just start him out there. Just mention the name. Probably talked way too long about him than we had to, but he was an impressive dude on the floor there. So
to be fair, you could probably put him and Drummond in the same box, playing against one another. Like,
and I mean Drummond again, he had
he has some
30 fantasy points in 15 minutes. I mean,
there are a few people that could do that.
Yeah, agreed.
There's a few people that could do that.
All right, let's get a lineup built here. Again, we just spent like 15 minutes talking about a $3,100 guy that's going to play 15 minutes. But all right, so Şengün.
Yeah, we'll start with some Houston here. We could do like, I think we play 2, like either Van Vliet, Green, or Jabari. Van Vliet. Okay, I like that.
You want to do 2 or 3?
Let's just start.
Let's start 2. We'll
start 2, and we'll see where it takes us.
All right. Value Martin or Richardson?
Quickly. We don't need to do that, but
that's fine. I was trying to get a 4K guy in our lineup.
I know. I don't know.
Duarte?
I don't know who that is.
He sucks though. He's so bad.
No, he has not been any good.
Niang could be a spot for Niang here off the bench.
Could be. Spot. No, Dean Wade's already out.
Yep. Feels like the minutes are pretty secure for him there.
I hate that the Connaughton only played 20 minutes despite Middleton not playing last game.
Who got the minutes? Was it Beasley?
Beasley played a big
36 minutes. We played Beasley at 48 against Miami here.
Dude, he's so random. Like I would. I would. It's just such a random. Like Malik Beasley. Guess him right. Guessing him right. Good luck.
Sure. But we definitely need some value here. Maybe we do Niang for now, and if we can come back to it, we will.
Okay. I am also.
I want to get some exposure to that Cleveland team here. So Like a matchup against Cleveland here. So
Jarrett Allen or Garland or something.
Yeah. I mean, Allen's a great price. I like Garland a little bit more, though. I think I like Garland.
I think so as well, but Allen is definitely the better price.
Would you go Bay here at power forward?
What do we got?
Or Jaquez?
600? Yeah, Jaquez. Yeah, Jaquez is a good play.
All right. So if we go Allen, then double centering. Gives 61 for a guard and a forward here.
If you wanted,
it still could be Jabari at forward
and Clay at guard.
Or play at guard. Do we have? Let's see.
Or play 4. Play Jalen Green because you have 4 of them.
Yeah. Well, we wanted to get a. We definitely probably wanted a late night exposure play here.
239 total in that game. Yeah.
Strus. This game stack Cleveland, Atlanta.
I mean, dude, that game is a 237 total, 5-point spread.
Yeah.
It's an elite game.
We did Strus at guard. What did that give us? Bay was 39. That was 56 on a dot. Oh, there it is. We don't have any of Mitchell, Trey, or Garland or DeJounte, but
okay. So I'm looking. All right. So listen to this. Ready?
Okay.
So looking at some in-season tournament standings. Okay, because we haven't broken that out yet. Mm-hmm. Houston is in second. They need to win. They're 2-1. Dallas is 1-2. So Houston's playing 50 all 48 minutes. That's solidified as my top play.
Okay.
Golden State is 2-1 in third. They're going to probably play big minutes here. Cleveland is 2-1. Atlanta is 1-2. So expect those two teams to play big minutes as well.
Okay. There's a lot that we have right now. It's Van Vliet, Quickly, Niang, Jaquez, Şengün, Strus, Bay, and Allen.
Like it. The Niang thing is obviously it's like Niang is almost like the Monday Isaiah Livers, where
he's a better player than Isaiah Livers is.
I'm just saying, in terms of value,
sure.
It's like one of those things, right? It's
we get rid of Quickly. We play different. We just play Caleb
Beasley or Beasley.
4,900 for small forward. Dylan Brooks can get you more Houston.
The Caleb Martin thing is just so frustrating because I don't know who's. They just don't know who's playing.
You don't know why? Well, he's been playing anyways, though.
I know, but he played 18 minutes with a full healthy team on that Friday where he came off the bench. He was just the odd man out.
You think that's the way they go with him?
I don't know. They started Richard. That was the game they started Richardson, and Richardson played 30-something minutes, and Martin played 19. And I just didn't understand it.
Sure. We can still go Richardson there if you want. And get rid of Martin. Strus, 66, 47 forward. Dort. Jarrett Allen's kind of handicapping us here a little bit.
Yeah. That's
as painful as that sounds.
That's as classic. That's just like having a center. That's a center util, right? That's not in the late night window. That's what happens.
Rozier, 37 forward. Don't really have anything for that either. It would be Connaughton if we knew he would play minutes, but he's not.
Yeah, he just doesn't. Yeah, and Middleton's also questionable, so he could play here.
Sure.
What do we got? 55-50 for our final two spots.
Yeah, Ari in 52.
Patrick Williams is obviously in play if 42 if there's
go Ngannou here.
Yeah, I like Ngannou. If he, like you said, he's playing the minutes. He's also popular every slate. So
you think or Daron Sharp?
No, play Ngannou. Okay. It's a better game.
Okay. Well, just another example of getting the guys here to break down the lineup. Van Vliet, Strus, Jaquez, Bay, Şengün, Richardson, Jabari, and Ngannou, $400 left over. And as we say all the time at the end of the show, the lineup you see here probably won't be the lineup we build at the 5 o'clock Eastern live show. So make sure you tune into that. We'll have all the updated news for everybody throughout the day. I'm on the playbook, so check that out there as well. James, any final thoughts here?
No, but good day, another good day here on the old Monday machine, and let's keep it rolling on Tuesday.
Yep. Give the video a like, subscribe to the channel. We'll see you live at 5 o'clock Eastern, everybody.